everyone, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 8 of From Hope to Glory at Truro City with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So, with 2 games left to play in the Vanarama National League, we have secured our playoff position. It's as good as we could have possibly expected this season. It looks like we're going to finish in about 4th or 5th, somewhere around there, which is phenomenal. But that is actually for a future episode. For today, we turn our attention to the FA Trophy final against Boston Utd at Wembley. Pretty much the biggest game in the history of Truro City so far. Can we hold our nerve and bring back the trophy? Let's find out. So yes, we have completely guaranteed our playoff position. If we go and have a look at the league table, sitting in 4th position currently with the PL next to us to signify that we have got that playoff spot. There's a load of games to come in those playoffs. It's a bit staggered in terms of how many teams play how many games, etc. But that's for the next episode. For next episode, we'll come back and we'll play some of that playoff route through, hopefully, to getting to the final and maybe even getting promoted. Who knows? If it doesn't happen this year, actually, that's no major problem. I think we could probably be perfectly happy to spend another season in the Vanarama National League if need be, just to keep building the club up a little bit. But it's been phenomenal so far. But today, as I've said at the introduction to this particular episode, today it's all about the FA Trophy and the final against Boston Utd. So let's check in and see where they are. Currently, they're sitting right down the bottom here in 20th position in the Vanarama National League. So there is quite a gap between us. This is pretty much as good an opponent as we could potentially have asked for, really, in this final. So confidence has got to be pretty high. How have the recent fixtures in the Vanarama National League impacted that morale and that confidence? Let's check it out. So, whilst there have been some patchy moments through April, actually it hasn't been too bad. Since the last time you and I were together, which was for the Aldershot game, where we got that 1-0 win in the semi-final of the FA Trophy, bag load of games that have been played because we were always pretty much heading towards that playoff spot. So I didn't feel the need to show you everything as part of this run-in, but we got off to a pretty average start through the next few games. A loss and a couple of draws, 0-0, weren't scoring goals, which was a worry. And it was Charlie Ball that was really having the most problems. It's only recently against Dagenham and Redbridge that he actually scored a goal, and it was the first goal he'd scored since right the way back to the beginning of March. So it really caused us a problem. So Andrew Neil had been playing in between times. You can see that he got a few goals here and there himself, so that's not too bad. But the two of them needed to find their shooting boots a little bit better. Dagenham and Redbridge, Charlie Ball got a couple of goals, and then Eastleigh, Andrew Neil got another goal, so they are back in the scoring form. Then in the last match that we played title-winning Wrexham. If we go to have a look at the can't get my words out, the table again, you can see that Wrexham have run away with it this season completely. 41 games played, 102 points, completely miles away from everybody else, and unfortunately we were not quite able to compete with them just enough. We did okay, but we came away with that 1-0 loss. Dampens us a little bit in terms of that run of recently good results, but ultimately I think we can be fairly confident leading into today's game. We just have to go out there on the pitch on the day and show it. So there is a choice to be made today for the home or away tactic. The asymmetric style of play in the vertical tiki-taka is what we've been playing at home. We've been playing the more recognisable from early part of this season, the 4-2-3-1 in the counter-attacking style away from home. But to be honest, I think because Boston are so low in the league, because we're in a reasonably good place ourselves and on a decent run of, mostly a decent run of good form, I feel the need to try and control the game as much as is possible. So we're going to start out with the asymmetric style formation, and if we can get a lead and maybe a 2-goal lead maybe, then we'd probably switch into the 4-2-3-1 counter-attacking style, because the players are exactly the same, so they can play both systems pretty well, to be honest. So yeah, that's what I've decided to go for today. Most people are fit and healthy, I would suggest, which is really positive. So it means that I could choose pretty much my starting 11 that I wanted to choose. We've been able to rotate the side around a little bit again in the lead up to getting that playoff position. So now that we've got that, even after this game, for the next couple of games, I can rotate the side around a little bit as well, trying not to lose momentum, but trying to keep them all fit and healthy, ready for those playoffs. But yeah, so for today, I think we can play pretty much what I want to play. And the only major question was which striker was going to start. But for today's game, we have Roberts in goal, Morgan at right back, Rounsfell at left back, Kazoo and Doyle in central defence, Early, Mundle and Harvey in central midfield, Knowles on the right, Salam on the left, Andrew Neil up top, and a bench of Stavrou, Jones, Silla, Duke McKenzie and Ball. So here we go to Wembley. Can we do it? Let's get into today's game and find out. So I've really tried to get them up for today's game by telling them with pumping fists that there's a trophy on the line. Go out and show everyone that you're born winners. Let's go and do this. Let's go and win a trophy for Truro City, and a really good trophy for the level that we've been playing at so far. This is as good as it gets so far. The biggest game in Truro City's history. They made it to the FA Vars final before and won it, but not the FA Trophy, and that's a step up. So let's see how we can cope. I think there was about 18,000 tickets being sold for today's game at Wembley, which is really amazing considering that the likes of us have only got about 1,500 as an average attendance this season. 18,000 tickets sold is brilliant. Hopefully that's going to give us a load of cash as well, which will be fantastic, because we are struggling a little bit in terms of just the running costs at the moment are too high. So any bit of finance we can bring in means that the board don't have to bail us out. Anyway, through on goal, Neil, and a good closing down from the goalkeeper, and he parries it out for a corner kick. Good attacking move though, good ball movement, and eventually we get the corner kick. Morgan with the kick comes to the far post, and it's cleared up to Mitchell for Boston, so they get a chance to counter-attack, but Early gets in really well and takes the ball away and stops the highlight. Rounsfell with a short throw down that left-hand side on this occasion. Cross comes in, and the header from Neil again, straight at the goalkeeper, unfortunately. Didn't quite manage to really properly test him. And a loose ball there, and eventually Mundle gets it, drops it back to Salam, who will run at the full-back. Slows the play down, though, which is the style of play that we're now asking them from them. Much more passing orientated, short, quick passes, keep the ball moving, get them drawn out, and then we can work from in behind them in the vertical tiki-taka. So Salam on the ball, gets the ball into Mundle, and there's a decent shot from Mundle, and again the goalkeeper does just about enough to get it round the post for a corner kick. Morgan again on that far side. Where's this one going? Again to the far post, and they do get it well cleared on that occasion. The corner kicks haven't been quite good enough so far. Morgan with a short throw into Knowles. Back to Morgan, cross to the far post and Salam, and it's inches wide again of this near post as we look at it. We're piling on the pressure. 5 shots, 3 on target, 0 shots for them completely. We have decimated them so far in the chances and the possession, and we haven't quite managed to put it in the back of the net. But I kind of feel like it should be coming, surely, with such a dominant display in this first half. We're in a positive mentality in terms of our attacking mentality. We can always up that in the second half and push even harder if we need to. And we get to half-time, and Boston have done nothing. And they've really caused us no issues whatsoever. But to be fair, I think we probably should have done a bit better with the chances that we have created. Will that come to bite us later in the match? Let's find out. We'll go into the dressing room and we're going to, let's go with pumping fists again. We've got to keep them up and going for it. Let's say No, I don't like any of them. Outstretched arms. Let's see what this offers us. I'm pleased with how things are going. Keep it up. I'm delighted. Keep it going. The game is set. You can go and play with no pressure. Don't like that one. Let's really, let's go and tell them that we're delighted and keep it up, because I think we've played really well. Let's really boost the morale and then go into the shouts and just demand a little more from them. See if we can get more attacking intent out of them. And I think we will go into a more attacking approach quite early on, because there is nothing that Boston are doing against us, really. But we've reached the 67th minute and we haven't really got a highlight in this second half. Something's going to have to change now. It's drifting just a little bit too much. We continue to get the attempts at goal, but not so many on target in this second half. Let's see what we've got to work with. So we've got a low rating for Neil up top a bit. We've got Morgan on a bit of a low rating. Both fullbacks still. It's a bit of a problem. We do have to sort that out in the summer. Those two fullback positions need slightly better players. So we are going to change Morgan and put Jones in. And he can play down that right-hand side. We are going to take Neil out and put Charlie Ball in. Can he get another goal for us, important goal for us at this point in the season? Then I'd quite like to change something of the attacking midfield as well. And I think on this occasion, let's take Salam out. We're going to take Salam out and put Duke McKenna in and just allow him to play down that left-hand side. He can play both right and left quite well, so it's fine. So we're going to do that, and we're just going to chuck it back in for the next sort of 20 minutes of the match. And let's go back into the shouts and fire them up for that period of time and see if we can get anything from this next sort of 10 minutes now. It is really drifting. It's been so quiet. Harvey on the free kick, though. Again, the goalkeeper parries it out for another corner. We have not made the most of these. Can we, with a slightly different corner kick taker, do better? Duke McKenna with it down that far side, and we still don't. And they came away with the ball, and for a second I thought that we were going to really struggle with a counter-attack. But it is a clearance by Boston. We do pick up the loose ball in that right fullback area. Knowles having dropped back to help out in that particular position. We've sent it right back to the goalkeeper. 89th minute. Can we make sure that we pass the ball well and create a chance for ourselves? No silly errors. Do not give this ball away in a silly way. It's worked so far down to Knowles, but there was a slight block on that particular pass. But it does make its way to Duke McKenna, and he sweeps it again to Knowles, runs at the fullback, gets past him, get a chance to get in the box, and there's the header against the crossbar. Oh no, 92nd minute, we're into extra time with that missed opportunity. Just in the dying seconds, we hit the crossbar. Brilliant run down that right-hand side from Knowles, crosses it in for Charlie Ball, who had that one chance. And he didn't quite make it, did he? But there we go. So, outstretched arms again. We're going to say, I'm pleased to keep it up, because I still am. We are dominating this game. We've just got to put it in the back of the net. So, again, we're going to go in and demand more from them for this extra time period. Please, no penalties. With how dominant we've been, we've got to get this ball in the back of the net, surely, at some point. But we're going to get to half time of extra time with no added highlight to tell from it. It's not good enough, is it? Quite. So we're going to pause the game for a second and just think about whether there's anything else that we can do here. I don't think we get another substitution at this point. No, we don't. There's no fourth substitution in extra time. That's a shame. So there's a few that are out on their feet, unfortunately, a little bit, but they're just going to have to suck it up and do it. What can we change here? Let's take away the vertical tiki-taka and let's play a little bit more direct. Let's think about this. Let's go with why am I singing Phantom of the Opera? I have no idea. This final is getting to me. Let's go route one, chuck it up top and see how we can sort of feed off the scraps potentially of really just trying to dominate them in that final third. It looks like we're going to penalties though, doesn't it really? There's nothing happening. Oh dear, it's going to be a lottery. And after such a dominant display, I'm really not sure why we weren't able to put it in the back of the net, really. But we weren't. So let me just sort out the penalty takers before we move into the actual shootout itself. So this is my list of penalty takers. To be honest, we don't have that many that are any good. We've chucked Harvey up the top there to take the first one, and I think the fourth one is often important just to keep us in the game or win it for us at that point. So Charlie Ball goes to the fourth spot. Other than that, the likes of Knowles and Duke McKenna are not good enough on the penalties. So it's a bit of a lottery, really. So we go into the team talk, and we're going to have to really try and calm them a little bit, I think, for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to, hands in pockets, we're just going to say, try to relax, be decisive, and know where you're putting your penalty. That's the one I want. Let's see whether it works for us. Harvey with the first spot kick for us. Gets a chance to get us off to a good start. Can he manage it? He can, no problem. The goalkeeper doesn't even move. Puts it into that bottom left-hand corner. No problem at all. Hippolyte, is that? What a fantastic name. Steps up for Boston, left-footed. And Roberts does fantastically well with a weak penalty, to be honest. Dives to his right and claims the ball with no problems. Jones, now time to put the pressure on. And he manages it. 2-0 up after the first two penalties. Can Roberts pull off another save and really, really cause them some problems? Concannon with the spot kick for Boston. And he puts it away for 2-1. We still have the advantage. It's still early days in this particular shootout. And speaking of early, you'd almost think I'd written a script there, wouldn't you, really? But early steps up and puts us 3-1 up. We are looking really good. And it looks like it might be a decisive penalty for Charlie Ball at number 4, which is where I often think it happens. So here's another chance for Boston, and they mess it up completely. So here is the chance. One chance for Charlie Ball to step up and put us into a trophy-winning moment. Let's see if we can manage to do this. Surely he's got to. He's scored a bucket load of goals for us all season long, up until fairly recently. But here's the chance for him to put us for a trophy, and he misses his spot kick. The one person you'd want in that particular environment where you've got one kick to win it for us, and he messes it up. But still, we're on course. If we can just hold our nerve a little bit. If he can pull off a save here, it would be magnificent. And he doesn't. And we go to 3-2. Now is the last of our first 5 spot kicks. So here we go. One last opportunity before it goes to a complete lottery with a bunch of wasters taking spot kicks. And it's Doyle that steps up. Central defender, but has been fantastic for a star of our team. And he misses it too. Oh no. Please don't tell me we're going to lose it now. Oh, 3-2 up after the first 5 penalties for us. They have one extra to take to even it at 3-3. But can Roberts be the absolute superstar and win this for us? Roberts with a chance, and he doesn't quite manage it. And we go into an even more bigger lottery with Rounsfell stepping up for us to take the next penalty kick. Can he manage to put it in? He can, into that bottom right-hand corner. Really good spot kick under a lot of pressure there. And again, the pressure moves over to Boston United. One kick for them could keep them in it or lose it for them. That's the pressure of going second in this particular situation. And again, it's down to Roberts to see if he can make the save and become the absolute hero. So far, he's done pretty well. And he doesn't quite manage it on that occasion. And Mitchell puts it away. And onwards we go. What are we at? 4-4, I think. Yeah, 4-4. Knowles. And he puts it away very, very nicely. Goalkeeper went the right way. Has done a couple of occasions, but didn't quite manage to make it. So 5-4 up on the penalties shootout. And here's the pressure again back on Boston with Marshall stepping up for him. Again, we want him to miss, or we want Roberts to save it and provide us with a trophy. Can we get that? Not on this occasion. This could go forever, couldn't it? We could be at 30-all or something. Who knows where this is going to go? Duke McKenna steps up. These are not good penalty kick takers, I promise you. You saw the stats earlier. He didn't even stop on his run up from the halfway line. Just ran right the way through, buried it in the goal. And we again go up in the shootout 6-5. And again, the pressure goes back on Boston. And it's Gibbons stepping up for them. And again, Roberts with the chance. Can he pull off another fantastic save? Here we go. Steps up, left-footed. And Roberts does save the penalty, and he does win us the FA trophy. He is the absolute superstar of that penalty shootout. And for the first time, we get to watch a trophy presentation on Football Manager 21. Fantastic. The guys step up, get their opportunity to lift the trophy. And here we go. The trophy goes up. Come on, raise it, raise it, raise it. There we go. And the fireworks go and the tiki-taka tape goes everywhere. And we cover Wembley Stadium in white for the White Tigers. And Truro City go on a lap of honour with the FA trophy, having won it. That is fantastic. I'm so delighted about it. We couldn't have made it any harder for ourselves in that penalty shootout at times, though, could we? And what happened in the game itself, I couldn't tell you as to why we couldn't find a way to get a goal. But in the end, it worked out for us. And now it's really fortunate that we get to rest these players in the next couple of games in the Vanarama National League before we go into the playoffs. So we can get them fit and healthy for that as well. So some of them will play a little bit, but hopefully not a lot. And we'll get them reinvigorated for the playoffs to come. Because it's important that we now focus on that and see if any way we can make it a double wicked success of getting promoted too. I don't know if we can, but we're going to give it a good go. So here we are back in the schedule page, but there's not a lot I can tell you really. All I can say is that we've got to play Darlington and Sutton to finish off the Vanarama National League, the actual league season itself, and then we will go into the playoffs. I'm not exactly sure how the playoffs will work, instead of whether we'll get Leyton Orient as 4th place 7th and then 5th place 6th, or whether it's 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th, I don't know, or whether it's randomly drawn. I don't really know, but I would imagine it will probably be 7th place that we'll end up playing if we finish where I think we should, in 4th position. There is a slim chance that we might not finish in 4th, but I can't see it, to be honest. I think that's more the most likely. So the likelihood is that one or other of Leyton Orient or Torquay, depending on which one takes this final spot, will probably be our playoff opponent in the first match that we play. And that is what we'll be coming back for next episode. Until then, we've got a couple of games just to finish the season off, resting a few players, I hope, just to get them back to full fitness. In the summer, we've got to figure out the finances a little bit, and that's going to be dependent on where we are playing, whether it's in the Vanarama National League or even in League 2, the proper football league. We are very, very close to it. This season, to be honest, if we end up playing Vanarama National League next year, that's okay by me. I think we could probably do with another season just to continue to focus on building this team up to get into the Football League proper. But anyway, if it gets to the opportunity to play in League 2 next season, of course we're going to take it. So we're going to give it as good a go as we can. So join me next episode and see how we get on in the first set of games in our playoff push. It's going to be tricky. But anyway, thank you for joining me today. A piece of silverware for Truro City, which is fantastic. The FA trophy in the trophy cabinet, which is brilliant. Really, really great performance overall. Just not the killer instinct, unfortunately. Need to change that for the playoffs. Anyway, stop talking. Let's move on. Thank you for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join my United City community. The more the merrier. Click that like button on this particular episode. Join me next episode for the playoffs. Let's see how we get on. Until then, though, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.